Hello, everybody. Hope I missed my microphone. Hopefully that'll work. Hey, everybody. Today we are talking teas. I love teas, and I'm always looking for different things that I can do, to get my water in, as well as cut down on sugar. So tea is something that works really well for that. So I'm doing this just in the group. This is just a video for you guys today. But I might repurpose it later and use some of the content for something else later. But if you have friends that might want to see this, invite them into the group so that they can watch this video, because I will leave this video up inside the group at least for a while. Let's see here. Let me get going. So there's a few things about teas that are important to know. The first being that teas are highly sprayed. So they're very highly sprayed in pesticides and herbicides and fungicides, and then they are not washed before they're dried. So teas are one of those things where not only are they grown with the pesticides in the ground from the ground up, but then they're also heavily sprayed, and there's no way to they don't mitigate that in any way. They don't wash it in any way before they package it up to sell. So that's important to know. And so it is important that, that you are aware of that, and that you're only buying the organic varieties of teas. There are, teas, there's a lot of different reasons for drinking teas, but I mentioned a few of them. Water intake is huge, and tea is steeped in water, and so you can count it as your water intake, I guess is a good way of saying that. So if I am, when I'm talking about getting in your, 60 ounces a day or whatever I'm coaching you on, tea counts. So that, that's kind of cool. It's kind of fun, right? So let's utilize it. There's a lot of different teas, herbal teas, that do different things for our bodies. So if somebody has headaches or nausea, indigestion, a lot of different things, there are teas that can help with some of that stuff. And I'm going to go into a little bit more of that in this video. And then antioxidants are also huge for our health, and this is one way, because we're steeping a plant in water and getting nutrients out of that plant, is what tea is. So antioxidants are huge in teas. And then all the teas, the herbal teas as well as the true teas. So now let's talk a little bit about what the difference is between herbal and traditional teas. So green tea, white tea, black, and oolong teas, those are all actually from the Camellia sinensis plant, I believe is what it's called, the tea plant. So they are actual true tea, traditional tea, and they are different colors and named differently based on how they're prepared. So they have different components within them. There are some really good, and I'll get more into depth on each of them later, but there are higher antioxidants in white tea and green tea than the other two, and it just comes down to them being the black tea being fermented and some other things, and so we'll get more into that in a minute. And they're all of the traditional teas from the tea plants are beneficial to our health. So those are all high in antioxidants. They have some caffeine in them, and so for some people that might be an issue, but they are high in antioxidants as well. So the true teas. Let's talk about true teas that are highest in antioxidants. Hi, I am on a software program. I can't tell who's on right now, I don't think. It's not showing me. But anyway, so true teas. So the true teas that are highest in antioxidants, like I was saying, are green and white teas. And that's really all you need to know about that. The green and the white tea I go to before I go to the black and the oolong teas. So unless you have a big preference for the taste of like the oolong tea, which does taste different, then then just stick with the white and the greens for the most part. That's what I do, but they're all good, so it doesn't really matter. So if you're getting your water in, that's good, right? All right, so herbal teas. Herbal teas. So herbal teas are high in antioxidants, antiviral, antibacterial, depending on the herb itself that is being used for the tea. Herbal teas are also not just herbs, but they're spices and different plants depending on what they're being used for. So like some of it is the root sometimes, or like a dandelion root, which I'll talk about a little bit. And so there's different, over time we found different benefits to an herb, and it became something that people do. So sleep is, there's herbal teas that help you with sleep, like chamomile tea, and I'm going to get into this too, digestion, PMS even, and some that level your blood sugars. If you are diabetic, that's something that's good to know. So I'm gonna break down five of my favorite teas, and give you a little bit about those. And I'm going to give you five just different teas that have, the kind of the most common symptom relieving teas is what I'm going to break down for you. And there is another training. This is the tea portion is one portion of an entire training that I'm doing on beverages on Thursday. That's inside my kitchen strategies, holistic kitchen strategies program. So if you are on the fence with that program, try and get in by Thursday so that you can participate in that, because I'm going to go into all sorts of different stuff. So all of the milks, so the different plant-based milks, and which ones of those are the best for us, as well as different bases that we can use in our drinks, like aloe juice and coconut water, and different ways to make drinks that taste really amazing. So doing fruit infusions and all of these different things. And I have some really awesome recipes, so you don't want to miss that. So if you are at all on the fence, that I am out of codes for that. I had 10 people sign up kind of right away for that program. And so if you want to get in, it's $59 only, but I'm doing bonus trainings starting this week. So, all right. So my favorites, the one that I go to the very most is green tea and white tea. I make green tea and keep it in the refrigerator almost all the time. And then I also mix the green and the white teas with other teas sometimes, like with the herbal teas, just for flavor, or depending on, what's going on in my life. If I have PMS, if I'm premenstrual or something, then there's teas that I can mix in with it for that. Same with nausea, ginger, there's a lot of different things that I've learned about that you can mix even with the green and the white teas. So I actually purchase a green tea that I think tastes amazing, and it is a passion flower green tea mix. It's a combo, and they go together really, really well. It tastes really good, and I'm going to talk to you guys about passion flower in a minute about what that does as well. So the white tea, green tea are both unfermented. I think I kind of touched on that, but that is why they are higher in antioxidants than the other teas. And they also have a chemical in it called ECGC, and it helps free radicals, helps to fight against free radicals, contributes to cancer, heart disease, and clogged artery health. So reversing some of that stuff. Green tea. Green tea is also known to interfere with the growth of bladder, breast, lung, stomach, pancreatic, and colorectal cancers. So, and there's more studies coming out on green tea all the time, because green tea is so high in antioxidants and cancer fighting that they're just continually doing studies on it. It's a really good one. Also lowers cholesterol levels, can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, burns fat. It's just amazing. It's also for stroke, it helps to reduce the risk of stroke. So hibiscus is my second favorite after the white and green teas. Hibiscus tea, really common. For me, I drink it all the time. And in doing my research, I didn't really know how good it was for me until I started actually researching it. It's also antiviral. So this is made from the actual flowers of the hibiscus. And it tastes really kind of tart. It's kind of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a tartness to it. So you kind of like, you have to use a little bit of stevia in it to even it out a little bit. But there's, as far as viruses go and fighting viruses, it's really good for that. Blood lipid levels. So this is also cholesterol. It also is studies being done on that because it looks like it is doing wonderful things for cholesterol levels as well. So let's see here. The thing about hibiscus teas that you want to be aware of is if you don't want to take it if you're on a diuretic of some sort. And if you are taking aspirin for any reason, then you don't want to be drinking hibiscus. They just counteract with each other in some ways, and that's what I read. So passion flower. So this is the one I was talking about that I do mixed with my green tea. I just think it tastes amazing. There is let's see here. This one is amazing when it comes to anxiety and promoting calmness. So it's a stress relieving, calming choice for teas. It is also, it's been shown to be effective in actually reducing anxiety. So it can be taken sort of as a remedy for anxiety. So that's passion that I'm talking about, passion flower. Peppermint. Peppermint is my fourth on my list. And it is my favorite because of the digestion stuff. So it is known for being really good with digestion. It's also bacterial, antiviral, antioxidant, anti-cancer. But the studies as far as the digestive tract go with peppermint tea and peppermint oils, it's staggering. And so for me, it's just worth it it's worth it to me to have this as one of my favorites, that I kind of go to all the time. So nausea, peppermint's also good for nausea, anything stomach pain, nausea, cramping, that sort of stuff. It's shown to relax some spasms within the intestine and the esophagus and the colon. So that, again, stomach pain. All right, so rose hips. This is my last one. So my fifth favorite one that I picked to tell you guys about is rose hips. Rose hips tea is made from the actual fruit of the rose plant, of the rose. So it's after the rose flower is spent and dried off, then the rose hip comes afterwards and can be dried and made into a tea. This goes back to when I was a kid. My grandma was talking about rose hips, vitamin C. We need, every year, flu season. This is the time of year where you would harvest rose hips. And so my grandma would be talking about that we needed to make rose hip tea and we all needed to bump up our immune system. And what she was talking about is vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, building up our immune system. And it is true, very high in vitamin C. So rose hips are awesome. It is also for weight management. So it helps for losing weight and maintaining your weight. They did a study on 32 overweight people and found that taking the rose hip extract resulted in decreased belly fat. So for belly fat, we all are looking for ways to reduce some belly fat, right? So rose hips, because it's so high in antioxidants, it's also known to be something that's good for your skin. So antioxidants equals healthy skin, and anti-aging in the skin. So you probably hear that in your cosmetic commercials and stuff where they're talking about antioxidants and being good, making you look younger. So it's also known for that as well. So rose hips, you should automatically be thinking about belly fat, right? Belly fat and good immune system, antioxidants. Okay, now these are the 5 that I picked that I think are kind of the most common herbal teas for remedying pain or different ailments, different symptoms. So the first one is chamomile. Chamomile tea is really good for relaxation and can make you sleepy. So that is why it's so popular. That's how I was introduced to it, 25 years ago or whatever. Here, drink this tea. It'll help you relax. So, and I'm not super, I don't love it. Like, it's not my favorite tea as far as flavors go, but it's not horrible either. So if, I will drink it occasionally, but it's not my like go-to. So, but it's good. Especially with honey. Honey makes it taste a little bit better as well. And I mentioned stevia earlier because stevia is no calorie sweetener, and it is a plant that is actually, I make it with my tea. So in the summertime, you can only grow it here in the ground in the summertime. And so in the summertime, I will grow stevia, and then I just have to use like 1 leaf in my tea to sweeten like a whole pot of tea. So it's a really potent plant sweetener. And but you just want to buy that one organic as well, just for the same reasons that I was telling you guys about. It's the same as with the teas where they don't wash it. They just extract. All right. So, yeah, so there's just been a lot of studies. I'm just kind of leave it at that with the chamomile. There's been a lot of studies on chamomile. It's good at helping with that sleep and relaxation. It also, for PMS, there's been studies done on it reducing premenstrual symptoms, and there's also been, this is one of the blood leveling ones. So for type 2 diabetes, they've done tests and seen improvements in blood glucose, insulin, and blood lipid levels. So that's awesome as well. So number 2, turmeric. Turmeric is amazing as far as inflammation and reduced pain from what you would normally get from your inflammation. So how can I say this easier? So it's such a powerful anti-inflammatory that it will reduce the inflammation within your joints, within your body, within your organs and your arteries and that sort of stuff. And so it would naturally reduce the pain that's associated with the inflammation, right? So that's what I'm talking about with that. It's been shown to prevent cancer. It promotes good indigestion as well. And then reducing pain. So turmeric tea can be made out of the turmeric powder itself, or you can buy the teas, so pre-made in a bag type of tea. So you can do either way for that. The next one, kind of similar, another root. Turmeric is a root plant, or it's the root of the plant that you are using. So ginger is also a root. Also really, really good for you as far as your immune system and your digestion goes, but it also reduces nausea. It's known for to be used for pregnancy, especially, or also with like chemotherapy, when people are in chemotherapy and they have a lot of nausea. Ginger is really good. They make all sorts of different, lozenges and different types of things made with ginger for this reason. But the tea itself is, you can make this with very little of the root. So And with tea, you can also buy tea bags yourself. So like Trader Joe's has them, and different places have tea bags that you can purchase and put your own stuff in the tea bags. So for something that I'm making myself, that's what I'm going to do. So with the ginger, I would grate the ginger onto the cutting board, and I would just, with a spoon, scoop it into the tea bag, and that's all I would use to steep ginger tea. So really easy, super fast. You could do the same thing with the turmeric root. So with turmeric root, you could grate the turmeric and you do the same thing, put it in the bag and use it that way as well. So that is, just be cautious, because both the turmeric and the ginger can get kind of strong, kind of fast. So don't use like a whole, tablespoon in a cup or something. Like start smaller and see what I'm talking about before you go a little too crazy. So inflammation, immune system, super, super high in antioxidants, so good for your immune system. And nausea. So nausea. It's really good. This is something that when my friends struggle with their pregnancies, I always go and buy them like the ginger lozenges, and I'm always, kind of preaching to them about the ginger. So dandelion root, if you need to detoxify yourself, or if you, it's dandelion root is a diuretic. It's a natural diuretic. It will detoxify your liver. It cleanses your liver. And so it sort of speeds up the urination process. So if for any reason you needed a diuretic, or you wanted to detox, and, you would drink a ton of water while you were doing this, of course. And then you could use dandelion root for that. It also is known to lower blood pressure and helps with vision issues and iron deficiency. So the last one I want to talk to you guys about is sage, because sage is a mental, helps with mental function. It's like empowering your brain. So sage is, for all sorts of different mental health issues. Sage teas can be used to sort of calm the mind a little bit. So they did a study with animals and humans that have shown that it's beneficial for cognitive function, as well as potentially effective against the effects of the plaques that are involved with Alzheimer's disease. So total brain health here when it comes to the sage teas. So that's huge. That's saying that it helps keep you from building the plaques that cause Alzheimer's. So that's a big deal, I believe. A number of studies found improvements in mood, mental function, and memory in healthy adults after they took one of several different types of sage extracts. So sage extract would be higher potency, so that that's why they use extracts a lot of the times. But blood lipid levels were also found to be improved as well. So that's that's the fifth one, the sage tea. So when you are preparing any of these teas, you can add things to them, such as like I was talking about, the aloe juice. There's a lot of different things that you can mix in an iced tea. So once you steep a tea, you can turn it into an iced beverage, and then you can mix other things into it to make it taste better. So I use a little bit of stevia to sweeten it if I want, but barely any now. Like if I do sweeten it, it's barely any now, because I just don't need as much anymore, as much sweetness. But keep that in mind, that you can blend fruit. So I will even blend fruit and mix some like pureed strawberries right into my green tea. or something like that. You can do that as well. And it's delicious. It tastes really good. And so iced tea in the fridge is something that is a really great idea to keep you guys hydrated and keep you guys so that the boredom from the water isn't such an issue that I hear about. So once it's iced, you can also add the chia seeds to it like we do with our antioxidant juice. So you could use tea with no sugar in it as opposed to the antioxidant juice that we've been using. So, you could cut even more sugar out if if that's something you need to do, or if you are diabetic and have to watch your sugars or something like that. So that's something to keep in mind. But I would love to hear from you guys on any of your favorite teas, and what do you guys, how do you make them? Do you have any tricks? Like the hibiscus tea is brightly colored. It's pink. It looks like Kool-Aid. And blueberries will also turn your water, like pink and stuff. And so that kind of is fun too when you're just drinking, plain old tea. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of color in there, drink it out of a nicer glass or, something like that. And just to make yourself feel like a little bit fancy, a little bit fancier than we're drinking just our ice water, right? But anyway, so if you, like I was saying, if you want the full PDFs on the beverage training that I'm going to be doing Thursday, then you got to hop in that program. If you can't make it in there by Thursday, but you're planning on joining before the 8th, then let me know, and we'll work something out to where you can get that training if we need to. So just communicate with me and let me know what's up. And I think that'll do it. So, well, I opened this up to questions, but it looks like there's only been a couple people hop on and then hop off. So, but that's okay. I know that it's the middle of the day, and so I expected this to be sort of a replayed training. So that's totally fine. One last little bit of housekeeping. We have starting on the 1st, which is 6 days. Well, we have a week from today, I believe. We are starting the next 7-day week of holistic healing. And I'm going to be posting about that possibly today, maybe tomorrow, because I have a few things that for you seasoned people who did it last time, a few things that you might want to add or switch up just to increase our nutrients even more this time. So looking for volunteers. Okay, you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll be popping in here in and out, of course, all week. So I'm here if you need me or if you have any questions. Definitely try and get your friends and family members to join the group before the 1st, because if we can have them do this week of healing, then they're learning skills, they're learning tricks, they're learning about the chia drink and all of the different ways that you can heal yourself. So that would be fantastic. So, all right, talk to you guys later. Have a good day.